Hi, and we're back for another session of Tea Time with Mel and Britt. Unfortunately, Mel is not here with us today, but we have the very lovely Maryam, who is gracing our presence as our guest speaker today, as we talk about being grateful. So last week we started off talk with our new topic for November, talking about giving thanks and being grateful. Last week was being thankful for life. And we had a guest speaker on with us who was talking about, her upbringing and how she's grateful to be here after going through the foster systems and, challenges in life that she had experienced as a teenager and, growing up throughout her life. Today we're talking about just being grateful, and what are we grateful for, and what does it really mean to be grateful? Because sometimes we're like, oh, we're grateful, but it's just to a certain depth. So today we have Miss Miriam. Oh, Maryam, because I'm sorry.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. No worries.
So we want to welcome you, Miriam,
Thank
and
you.
it's your second time here with us on the show, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
the last one was more talking about cancer, and that was more emotional than this week's presentation of being grateful.
Yes, yes.
So
Sometimes you go through times that are tough and you still have to look for that silver lining and
yes,
be grateful at that moment. Right now, I'm grateful because I am here. And I want to thank Nevada Partners and everyone here. I've been here for a few months trying to reestablish myself, and I am grateful for that every single day. I have been posting on my social medias for many years, sometimes, inspirational things and being grateful. And for the last few months, I've been really grateful because you get to see a part of you that sometimes when you're fearful, you're able to change that fear and rise above that fear and come back up when you shift that mindset of the fear into gratefulness. So I
right.
want to say thank you for having me here, Brittany. We miss you, Mel.
Yes, Mel, we miss
Thank you
you.
so
We know
much.
that she's going to be either watching the live or she'll be watching the review. So we want to say
Yes.
a big thank you out to Mel. I mean, she's been a big part of this, starting up the tea time talk with us.
Yes.
And we work so well together. A lot of times we face challenges, but in the challenges, that is where we set ourselves back and go for the bigger goal, which is to spread the word of God and to
Yes.
the spirit of God, in terms of the things that we do not look on sometimes, in our Christian walk. We tend to we get involved with so many things in this world, but at times we just want to, be able to share that, or this is our mission, our life's
Yeah.
goal,
Our
to
purpose.
our
Yeah.
purpose, right?
Yes.
And so we want to tell you, Mel, that we appreciate you. We love you. And during
Absolutely.
this time, we send our condolences to you and your family as you are dealing with a time of grief. And even with that, I called her and prayed with her, and we, had a time of just talking about, even though we go through the hard times and the winds get really rough, that we have a lot to be grateful for.
Yeah.
So again, Mel, you're missing. We're
Yes.
waiting for your return. And
Yeah. And grief is really difficult to go through.
right,
It depends on the level, and you know, family is very difficult, and a lot of heartache comes up, and pain, and
yes.
fear, and loneliness out of grief, and you
Mhm.
know. I think they say there's like 12 steps in grief when you lose somebody. And sometimes we don't realize that we're going through it. And it's great to be able to kind of switch that even into a grateful moment
Right,
because, we all know that that's a very difficult time for
right.
sure. So our hearts are with you, Mel.
Yes, yes. One of the things that I'm always grateful about when it's funny that when death comes, that's the time when everyone comes together and you see
Yes.
family members that you haven't seen in a
Yeah.
while, and
Yeah.
you get to look back on that person's life and what they have contributed to us and to communities at large, or what they have done for themselves as examples of us moving on in life and how we should care for ourselves and stuff like that. So especially when it comes to like grandparents, and there's a lot of sorrow, and
Yeah.
you'll miss them, but there's so much that they have left for us.
Their wisdom, their challenges, and their love. And
Right.
grandparents are a little bit different, I feel, because, you know, it's an honor to be a grandparent. I
I
know it is for me anyway. I'm just shouting out to my
I'm not there yet.
grandbabies.
I'm not there yet, Miriam. I'm not there yet, but I'm surely looking forward to it and already praying over them like, Lord, whenever the time is right,
Yes.
but not yet. I'm not ready, Lord.
Yes. Only when
But
it's right.
I always see that love that, grandparents display, and we always, oh, they're spoiling them and whatever,
Mm,
but I just think it's a different type of love, just like having a child. It's a type of love that you can only explain once you've experienced it. um
yeah.
that's the type with grandparents as well, I believe.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because uh, when you raise children, you're raising them to be the
Mhm.
best version of who they can be,
Mhm.
and you're guiding them, and you have to, always be talking to them in different ways, and you're setting these little boundaries. Well, when you have grandchildren, it's a little bit different. You don't set those kind of boundaries because that's their parents' job, not your job. So I'm really grateful for my grandkids because I didn't have to do that. And but they listen to my stories.
Right.
That's what I really like. Sometimes they tell me, Mama, it's not about you right now. And that's
Okay.
okay too, because they come sometimes because they need that guidance.
Right.
And some you might hear something from them and you're like, oh, you know what? This is what I did. But then it's not the advice you're looking for. They just want
Yeah.
the comfort at that moment.
Yes. Yes.
Like when they were little, when they come and hug you and they
Yes.
see you and stuff. As they get older, my grandchildren are getting older. But so I know how Mel feels about
I
grandparents. My
know.
grandparents and my parents are gone, so
I know.
it's all good
My
in
grandparents
our
are
hearts.
gone too, and I could remember a time that I was really grateful for my grandma. I've been always grateful for them. They raised me. They were like the parents of the parent. Well, hello, they are, but in essence, it really feels like that. Like you can't get past your grandparents, no matter their age, because they're the parents of your parent, and so you have to respect that. But
Yeah,
my grandparents have always been there for me, guiding me
yeah,
and raising me in the way of the Lord. And there was a
yes,
time when I had some really hard times, when I was going through some challenges in life, and I had just had my second child, and I felt it was some sort of postpartum depression or something, but it wasn't diagnosed. But one of the things is that I had a really bad day, going wild, and I remember I went to my grandma's house, but not in a good way. I was all emotional negatively, and she sat there holding my baby, and she rocked that baby, and she started talking to me, but the way that she spoke to me was in a way that I feel like nobody else could have, like, let it sink into my spirit, and for me to really listen, not with just my ears but with my heart, and understand that this what I'm going through now, I am able to go through and be victorious, because I am not the only one that's going through it. She did before. And when she told me her story, it made it that I could relate, that, Brittany, this is not the end. This is not your last day alive. And so that really helped me get past the hump in ways that people would not even be able to imagine. So when you think about your grandparents, there's a lot of gratefulness that comes up,
Oh, yeah,
you know.
absolutely. The wisdom. Uh, my grandmother used to uh, do a lot of prayer
Mhm.
and guidance, and her focus, including my mom, was more of the love that you put out, you know,
Right.
the heart that you put out. And if anything, that's what we share with our grandkids as well, and our children, of course.
Right.
Um, Even in hard times, difficult times, I remember sitting with my grandkids when they were younger and they were going through some difficult times. We would go around the table at dinner and pray, and each of
Mhm.
them got to say their own little prayer. But in that prayer, they had to say what were they grateful for that day.
Wow.
And it I miss that because they're all grown now, But when I do see them, I like to ask them, you know, did anyone tell you today you're amazing? Anyone tell you today, you know, you're awesome?
Yeah.
Um, and I think that inspiration can really uplift people when not only your family, but
Mhm.
others as well, with a smile, with, hey, I'm grateful to be here.
Right, right, right.
So, and this is the month of being thankful,
Yeah, yeah.
but I think it's every day.
Every day, right? Every day. And that's why I'm like, okay, well, I guess it's a time where people who are more introverted and not, expressive could take that time to say, you know what, let's give it out. Let's, vocalize it. Let's tell each other how we feel, how grateful we are for each other, and, show it in little gifts and little, other gestures, So, talking about that, I just want to bring in the scripture today for today.
Yes.
First Thessalonians 5:16-18. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. So we just want to let that be encouragement to everyone,
Yeah.
I know that there are days when things are so dark that we do not think about what we're thankful for. But those are the days when we need it the most to be grateful, to identify the blessings that we have in our lives.
Absolutely.
Those are the picker uppers, right?
Yes, they are. They are. Some people tell me, why are you so happy? You've got a lot going on. And, you know, sometimes you have to choose that.
Yes. Yes.
And we're all, you know, mentally, emotionally different and uniquely different. And it's overwhelming,
Yes.
a lot of things. But taking that moment and being in silence in your prayer is the key, I believe, of just feeling it at that moment.
One of the things I was looking at when preparing for this show, also we want to say hi to big shout out to our live audience in we're
Yes,
in the
thank you
West Side
guys.
Incubator at Nevada Partners. Um, every week I tell them about how the ambience in here is so lovely and welcoming, and it's just a lovely place to be once you're looking for resources, entrepreneurship, you know the Westside Incubator welcomes you, and you could
Yes,
stop by at any time. Google it, find the
please do.
address, Nevada Partners, come in here and ask where is the incubator
Yes,
and come in and be a part of our live audience. Or also, there's a lot of programs that run from in here, a lot of podcasts that you can be a part of, a lot of they have people who come in and do facilitations with different stuff. So it's a lot going on, and we just want to thank Nevada Partners for giving us this space and this time to be able to have discussions and to give out some helpful information.
Yes, absolutely. You know, sometimes you can go in life and you have this vision and you don't know how to develop that vision. I always say if you stay focused and grateful in that moment, even if you don't know what you're doing, you connect with your local areas like Nevada Partners. I mean,
Yes.
the love and the consideration
Yes.
and the friendship here and the inspiring people really gives you a lot of perspective of where you want to be next too.
Yes.
So,
The possibilities
oh
are
yeah,
endless.
endless, endless. So,
Endless.
if you get a moment to come down and support Nevada Partners, please do. You will be just so amazed what they do here and the folks that you'll meet.
Yes.
So, yeah,
Yes. That's true. So we're really grateful for them for having, everything that they have here. You know, come and check it out. Come and
yeah.
check it out. I can't say it more. Um,
Especially if you're launching a new business, reinventing yourself, trying to get moving, whatever the case, scaling, whatever you're trying to do in life, or you just need that support of other entrepreneurs here. No one taught us how to be an entrepreneur or business owner. We've been taught more to be employees, and
right.
what I think my greatest eye opening was is that we think we're failing, but we're falling forward. Somebody said that one time. And every time you take that step and you pick yourself back up, you learn something more about yourself.
Right.
And, you know, they have some great programs that go on here. And, we can reinvent ourselves or do many things in life. And we can say, oh, I failed miserably and kept down from it. Or you can just say, you know what? I'm going to pick myself up again. I'm
Hmm.
going to look up and I'm going to just hand it over.
Right.
And you end up coming to a place like this, Nevada Partners, and finding all the amazing entrepreneurs that are grown in many different ways. And it just brings you more life into
Yes,
you.
that's true.
So, yeah,
And it goes right back to our topic of today, being grateful. Being grateful does not only helps you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, because when we start identifying things that we're grateful for, it builds our momentum. It lifts up off the floor. It gives us more hope. It makes us see the things that we're not looking at as being possible. Sometimes we go through things again and again, and then we don't realize, hey, God has brought us through this already. We've been over this hump already. So looking back in a grateful way makes you identify that the things that you are going through now, you're able to make it. You got everything in you. You're
yes,
equipped, you're powerful, you're victorious.
you're
And
worthy.
yes,
Oh
the
my
the
gosh.
affirmations, you have to speak them out to yourselves.
Y-
And
Yell them out to yourself in the
yes,
mirror if
yes,
you have to.
make a
But
list. Some of the
yes.
things that cultivate the gratitude is journaling,
Oh, yes.
grateful journaling. It's talking about listing the things that you are grateful
Yes.
for, that you are thankful for, so that you can go back and look at them. You could see them, and when you're down, those are the things that will help you to uplift yourself and to get back on that bicycle again and say, okay, I couldn't make it up this hill, but I pushed the bike. Now I'm getting back on, because you know we're realizing that life is, phases that we go through. And if we don't take time to really look at what we have in comparison to, or rather than what we don't have,
Yeah.
every day we wake up, the lacks will start hitting you, like, I need this, I need that, I need.
Absolutely.
But if you focus on it, like, I need that, but I have this, you
Yeah.
know, I need that. Because there will always be needs.
Oh, always, always. And another thing is, and I've kind of come to grips with this over years. People will say the meanest things, but you have that choice not to engage in it.
Right.
Whatever their message is that they're trying to convey to you is their perception of who they think you are. You don't have to worry about that. What you got to worry about is what you think of who you are.
Right.
Because since we're born, we're already born into, may it be positive or negative or whatever. But at the end of the day, you know, that faith that you have is powerful.
Yes.
And
Yes.
by knowing the love that there's two parts of the Bible, the war and the love, or the hate and the love, you can call it. And we get to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the beautiful thing, it's like fear. Sometimes we don't know that it's a fear base, and that emotion is depression.
Right.
When you change that fear into being more grateful, I think that uplifts your health wise as
Right.
well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I know it does for me. I think always being aware of a healthy mind, a healthy heart, work on your healthy body,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it all comes down to being grateful and thankful, and don't take everything so personal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big part of it,
Oh yeah.
because we take a lot of things personal, and one of the things that make us not be grateful, or constantly reminding ourselves of the things that we are blessed with,
Oh,
is because we focus so much on everything else that we don't have. We focus so much on,
yeah.
where we want to be instead of where we are. Like, we're not where we were before.
Yeah.
So let's be grateful. Let's, um, look around us and see what's going on.
This moment, right now,
Right.
this moment,
Mm-hmm.
you have your heart. Fill it
Right.
and be grateful that you are living this moment. Because most of us reflect from the back, from the
Mm-hmm.
past, things that happened previously, or they're thinking too far in the future.
Right.
And, I know we all do it, um,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the mind, and that's where we have to look at where do we want to be in the balance.
Right.
And that's with taking that moment for yourself. May it be in prayer, being in a grateful moment. May it just be the silence of you just breathing in and, just
Taking in
knowing
the
it's good,
moment.
especially in a moment of chaos or crisis,
Right.
you want to just take that moment sometimes and just ground yourself and say, I'm going to be here right now with me.
Yes.
I'm okay.
Yes.
And I'm
Yes.
grateful for this. So,
Yes.
yeah.
And if we start giving out, because a lot of times we're grateful for a lot of things that we're not really appreciative of.
Yeah.
So we don't know how to show the love, yet in my heart, I'll say, I'm grateful for this, or I'm grateful for that, or I'm grateful for Maryam. But I wouldn't show you the love, or I wouldn't say it to you.
Yeah.
You know, if I start telling you, Maryam, I'm so grateful that you accepted our invitation for coming here. I'm so grateful for every time we meet, the little chit chats that we have to empower each other. I'm
Yeah.
so grateful about these things. If we start spreading that, and writing little notes to our kids in our houses,
Yeah.
or to our partners, or we'll be able to spread that, and we'll be like, you're starting a flame, so you're building up from the little things,
Yes.
and let it spread around you. We'll see it more and feel it more often in our midst,
Yeah.
because then now, instead of just having that grateful feeling inside of you, that feeling of gratitude, we want to spread it around, and let those whom we love and whom we're grateful for really feel that.
Yeah.
Because if it's just hitting inside of us, it's no use.
Yeah.
Well, it's just for us, so it's for some use, but let's maximize that. Put it
Yes.
outside of ourselves.
You have to. And, it's like somebody cuts you off.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first response most people have? Anger, yelling, screaming. I send them love.
Right.
I send them love because I know that they didn't do it in a conscious manner, or they did, or whatever, that maybe they're a little upset too. But whatever their space is or wherever they're at, it's always good to send people uh, the love. And I
Right.
learned something a couple of years ago that if you pay attention to this moment, pay attention to your thoughts and what comes out of your mouth. Now, can we do that all the time?
N-
It's not easy. There's like a 7-day mental diet you could take to do that. But it's not an easy task to do because
Mm-hmm.
it's really looking into who you are. And, we're learning every day how to be better and better than we were yesterday.
Yes, that's
And
so true.
part of being grateful, I think, really opens that door. Um, um, and maybe even on social media, you know,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of pain going on,
Right.
and um, a lot of things going on. And I told myself years ago, if anything, no matter what, I'm going to make sure that I put something nice out there, caring, loving, with hearts.
Yes.
People might think a heart is oh, they love me. That's
Mm-hmm.
our ego.
Mm-hmm.
No, a heart just means that you're feeling them.
Yes.
Um, you acknowledging them.
Mm-hmm.
Thumbs up is like, yeah, okay.
I see you.
Yeah, I see you. Whatever.
It's funny that you say that because that's the idea on social media all the time. They'll be like, "Don't send me a thumbs up," but
Yeah. Well, years ago, I started doing hearts when they first brought them out, and all of a sudden, some people get that in a different way.
right.
Oh, she loves me,
Oh.
and then you're getting DMs, and it's like, no, I liked what you put out positive.
Right.
It has nothing to do,
Right. It's
you know.
going towards your content, not the person.
Yeah,
Like we love you in general, but it's not a, we're
my
not, it's
friends,
not an intimate invitation.
correct, correct. Heart just means it's a passion that you put something out there that is heartfelt,
Right.
that is grateful, that is needed right now, inspiring, like
Hmm.
being inspired by my one friends. They would come and they would go, I don't know, it was kind of weird. You put hearts on my stuff. And I'm like, well, it was intentional, but it
Hmm.
has nothing to do with the intention that you're thinking.
Hmm.
It's more that I just want you to be inspired with that more positive, the more
Right.
uh, recognizing something that happened to you that day, but finding a positive
Hmm.
note out of it.
One of what came to my mind was the thought about, because when I was preparing for this show, I was like, being thankful. Like, why would we talk about being thankful? Why would we talk about gratitude? Because it's one of the most unappreciated concept or ideas out there. Like, we take it for granted that we should be thankful. We take it for granted that we should have gratitude. But honestly, everything in your life goes back to the emotions that you harbor. So
Yeah.
if I take 3 minutes out of my morning in gratitude, in identifying just 3 minutes to say, what am I thankful for in my life? What is actually, you know, on the level that because the first thing that you wake up in the morning would be, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to. But if we would just center ourselves for just 3 minutes to just put ourselves in that mode to say, I'm really thankful for my life. I'm really thankful for different things that are going on. It will help us to look above the chaos that we open our eyes to. It will set up in a mode that when we face challenges throughout our days, that reminder will be in the back of our minds that, you know what, this is going wrong, but I'm grateful for this. So it helps with our emotions. It
Yeah.
helps with our spiritual being because we have more hope and more faith. And then we're drawn more to our Maker and our Lord. And we say, God, thank you. You know, we go, it's not just words, but it's
Yeah.
really a heartfelt emotion. And yes, I'm grateful for the day, for the month of Thanksgiving, but I want this to be a everyday thing that I could wake
Yes.
up and find little pieces of cherries in my life to say, I'm thankful for this, you know, I'm thankful for that. Because if we walk around just not like, oh well, you find that those things that we're not grateful for gets taken away, and then we realize
Yeah.
how grateful we
How
are for them.
grateful we are. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a great point because you really have to, and sometimes we're taking the baggage from yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, think about three things that you're grateful, no matter what your day is. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I remember going through a lot of hard times, and sometimes I would just go take a walk and just be grateful that I heard the birds today, or
Mm-hmm.
uh, there was snow outside,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
or even the cold,
Yes.
because I was able to feel,
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have that mind shift right away. We take it and it gets stressful
Mm-hmm.
and or angry or fearful from it, and then we're lashing out and we're bitter.
So true.
um, and it's easier, I think, sometimes to take a walk or a step back. And it's not something I've always done, but I've learned over the years, as you get older, I think we all have a tendency to be better and want to grow better and share better and have relationships better. And sometimes, you have to have those boundaries of the ones that are not in that circle with you.
Yes, that's so
And
true.
it's okay, because you don't get angry with them. You just send them with love, and wherever they need to be is okay.
Right.
And
Right.
I think being grateful every day is a mindset, and
Mm-hmm.
it does take
Mm-hmm.
some time. They say to change an old habit, it takes over 21 days to
Yes.
do. Um, I challenge that sometimes, because after this 21 days, you can go right back to that old habit of
Mm-hmm.
yelling at somebody that just cut
Mm-hmm.
you off. But I think it's something that you have to do consistently.
Right.
Um, it's like when you want to change your life or you want to grow better, you have to make that intention in saying, I got to do that. Not only
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, but
Mm-hmm.
even at night.
All throughout the day.
Yeah.
The intention, be intent. So it's a mind shift. It's
Yes.
changing ourselves from thinking the negative first,
Yeah.
but bringing in, flood ourselves with the positive. Let's flood ourselves with the gratefulness and the thankfulness.
And don't get me wrong here. Even when you're positive, that negative voice from somewhere is going to pop in. May it be in the morning or at night. But if you're consciously starting to be aware of it,
Mm-hmm.
you can make the choice to change that. You're going to have better relationships. You're going to
Right.
have a better health, I think.
Yes.
Um, and just being present and being faithful at that moment of, I got this, I got this.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's so true. And for our audience that's watching us or that will even watch the replay, we want to give you an assignment for this week. Take 3 minutes out of every morning and decide what are you grateful for. And let's walk through our day that even when bad things come or hard situations come, we could lean back to that thought and go back and say, okay, I'm grateful for this. I'm still grateful for this, even though something else is happening,
Yes.
you know. Put it in the comment section. Let us know what you're grateful for. And, we just want to say to you that no matter what is happening in your life, we're grateful that you're alive. We're grateful that we all woke up to see another day. And we're
Amen.
grateful that in each of our lives, even when bad things happen, it could be just a simple moment like opening your phone and seeing a funny video and you start laughing instead of crying. That happened to me a few days ago, deep in tears, and I opened my phone and boom, there was a video. I couldn't help but start laughing, and that changed my whole mood. I pray that today and every day that goes by, that God will bring a smile upon your face and that He will embrace you, that you will know that whatever you're grateful for, that is important in your life. We want to thank you for joining our live stream. We want to thank Miss Miriam for being here. We want to thank
Thank you
Mel
for
in
having me.
absence. Yes, Miss Miriam,
Yes.
we really appreciate you being here with us. We want to thank Nevada Partners and Elias and the whole crew and everyone here in our live audience today. We want to say thanks, and let's continue to be grateful not only in the month of November, but let's spread it
Every
because there's too many negatives out there. We want to be that light in the darkness. Okay, so until next week, have a nice time. Welcome back to Tea Time. Next